giving people a couple of minutes to join in. They'll join us when they can. Let me just switch to my PowerPoint. All right, guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yep.
Bear with me. So, first of all, welcome everyone to stop applying and start landing roles in the next 90 days. And 90 days is completely possible, guys. Most of my clients are getting positions within the 90-day period. I think I've had one person who was at 94 days, but they took a vacation. So, what can we do? So you know that you are in the right place here. I designed this for people who are, number one, looking to make a shitload of money, who are done with playing small, who are sick and tired of guessing themselves, and are tired of explaining themselves to basic idiots. So if that is you and you have made it a goal to make more money, I want you to put in the chat, give me a one so that I know that you are number one alive and you are my people. So done playing small, want to make more money, tired of second guessing yourself. If you have a boss that's an idiot, we've all been there, and you're like, I gotta get the heck out of here. Please let me know in the chat so I know, all right, you guys are my people. Yeah, so we're gonna get into that today. So I'm Allison. I am an executive coach and an executive recruiter. I've been a recruiter for the last 15 years, helping Fortune 500 companies, small businesses right across North America. I've worked in almost every single industry: retail, automotive, construction, executive roles, skilled trade roles, you name it. I have found the person for my clients. Where I do most of my work now is as an executive coach, helping people find jobs to make them happy, dream positions, mostly at the executive level. It's really something I'm very passionate about and I love to do. Um, as I mentioned, I am a Toronto girly. I'm from Toronto, but this time last year, almost a year ago, I moved to Costa Rica, and that's where I have been living. If you've been to Costa Rica, put it in the chat. So, Pura Vida, if you have been here before, love this country. When I come back to it, please let me know. All right, a bunch of people, lots of travelers here. It's great. All right, so let's get into it. Today, what I really want to give you guys is the mindset shift, where we start thinking about our careers in different ways. I'm going to stop the PowerPoint so I can see all of your beautiful faces. Uh, okay, so if you were to think about your career like you were putting up your house for sale. So we're all from Toronto. What is the average cost of a house right now? In like regular smegular house in the GTA, Mississauga area, Brampton, wherever. I just like saying this to people who understand. Okay,
$1
Vancouver,
million.
Million minimum.
right? Right?
1 million, yeah.
$1 million, right? $1 million. Now, if you
Unless you're in
bought your
Vancouver
house,
and it's two
yeah, Vancouver's like 1.5 million, and you're living,
for a condo.
Toronto is 1 million, and you're living in the hood, maybe if you're lucky. Like, you have like a two bedroom house, like longer the days, right? So $1 million for a house, typically. Now, if you were to buy that house in, let's just say, gosh, I'm getting old, in 20, in the year, in 2021, how much would you have paid for that house approximately? 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Was it $1 million? Was it less? Where are we?
10 years ago,
Yeah, 20 years ago.
350.
No, around there.
350? Yeah?
Yeah,
Frederica
around
and
there.
Vancouver house 20 years ago, what would that cost you? About the same?
Around 600,000.
$600,000, okay? So you buy your house, you paid $600,000. Now we know that the market is different. What are some of the things that you would do to put your house up for sale? you bought your house, you know you're going to make it, and you've put this, it's a huge investment. You know you're going to make some money. What would be some of the first things that you do before you put your house up for sale?
Make it look as good as possible.
That's right. I love that. Yeah,
Paint, clean up, stage it.
exactly. Exactly. What else would you do? I see, Hanif, you have some big thoughts there. I can see it's on the tip of your tongue. What else would you do?
Well, I want to make sure that I have a place to go after selling this one.
I'm sorry?
I want to make sure I have a place to go somewhere after selling this one.
True. That's right. You're gonna make sure you don't want to sell it and then be homeless or can't afford another house to move into, for sure. Right? So we're going to stage it for sure, right? That's where we're going to start. After we stage it, or sorry, we start clearing out your house, getting rid of all the stuff that's in the attic, clearing everything else. What would be the next things that we do? It's clear it out. Who are we going to call in to help us with the next stage of our selling it? What would be after?
Hire a
So now-
realtor, professional.
Yeah, we're going to get personal. Are we going to just, you bought your house, 20 years ago, are we just going to add an extra 10% on it? What are we going to do? Are we going to look at comps? How are we going to make sure that we put our house, get the most that we can for the house?
Find the
We're
best
go-
person to help you sell it.
Yeah, someone to help you resell it. Are you looking at your neighbors?
For sure.
You look at
want
the- you look at the market?
The market, make sure you get the best bang for your buck.
Exactly, right? You want to get the best bang for your dollar and you want to make sure that it makes sense. How are you going to look to make sure that your house is priced correctly?
Comps.
The comps, exactly. So let me ask, how do we do the same in our career? How do we get to do the same when we're looking for, because what I see in the market now is people are you're looking for a new position, and then we're like, okay, well, I made $100,000 in my previous role. Now I'm looking for a new one. Let me start at 110. Would we do that for a house?
No.
Or we'll say things, and I hear this all the time, and I especially hear this with women. I hear, well, the market is not great right now. All of these jobs are being laid off. So, I was a VP of HR, but I'm not seeing any growth now. So I'm going to go and be a director. And instead of looking for 150, I'm going to look for 130. How many of us have done that in our careers? I feel like I'm hitting home there. I see some like, yeah, that's
Embarrassing
me.
to say, I was trying to have my hand reluctantly up, but absolutely, you get desperate and you're just like, I'll take it. I don't care. 20% less? Okay,
Exactly.
fine. Working.
Exactly. And so what I'm going to get you guys to do from this stage on is to think of, number one, to think about your career as real estate. You would never, ever do that. You paid them $25 or $250,000 for this house in 2021. And now everyone's getting over $1 million. You're not going to ever settle for less than $1 million, right? You're like, I'm getting $1 million to hell or come, like whatever happens, I'm getting at least that. We have to have that same mentality when it comes to our careers. So how many of you are actually on the market looking right at this moment? Put your hand up so I can see. Okay, perfect. Hanif, you're working right now, right?
Correct.
You're currently working, but your plan is to get on the market soon, right? Like you're open to new positions.
If I
Okay.
see a good opportunity, sure. Yeah.
If you see something good. Okay. Here's the thing. Most of us, when we start looking for work, where's the first place that we go to? When you start thinking about
Job boards.
LinkedIn, okay?
Jump it out.
Where
I said
else?
LinkedIn or like any or Indeed job boards.
Job boards and LinkedIn, yeah.
Job
Yeah.
boards, exactly.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So what if I told you that only 2% of jobs are filled through job boards? 2%.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Crazy, right? I own a recruitment firm. I will tell you, I rarely ever post jobs. It is a big waste of money. It is hella, hella expensive. When I say expensive, I'm talking $2,500 minimum to run an ad on Indeed. And I am going to get people from all over the world who are the best baristas in town looking for VP of HR roles. And and then I have to get back to every single person because they're in Canada and we have a no ghosting rule. So why would I spend money on posting jobs online? Hello, welcome. Right? What's the point? It's a big waste of time. The other thing that we're conditioned to believe is that every single job posting that we see is real. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is not true whatsoever. In fact, most job postings are not even real job postings. And I'm going to just share the secret because I feel like a lot of recruiters lie about this. But I worked for one of the largest recruitment agencies in North America. Actually, it is number one in North America. And in our training, we are trained to post fake job ads. And those job ads are for companies. We'll put them up because we know, all right, we're going to see an influx of project managers. So let's get ahead of it. We'll post a job. We're gonna see who is hiring. So we want to get intel on the market. So we post a fake job. That's just from the recruitment agency part. From an HR perspective, working for other companies, they'll post them because they want it to make it seem like they're growing, right? Or that they have new business coming. So it looks good for business to post jobs. But it doesn't mean that those companies are hiring. But we've been so conditioned to believe that every single time that we need to look for a job, the only jobs that are available are the jobs that are on job boards. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, it's bullshit. Complete bullshit. Where you're going to find your jobs is in your hidden market. That is where it is. I am a recruiter, okay? And I will tell you, hitting up recruiters is the biggest waste of time. Who do recruiters work for? I just want to have, my goal is to give you guys mindset shifts. Who do recruiters work for? Do you pay recruiters, like a recruiting agency, to find you a job?
No.
Right? Who do they work for? Do they work for the candidate or do they work for the clients?
They work for the clients. They're
The
getting paid.
clients, yes.
We work for clients, exactly. The client's going to pay me 20% of your annual salary minimum because my fees are ain't cheap. Right? So we're going to get paid 20% of your annual income minimum, right? So when a company is using a headhunter, somebody like myself, are they easier job expectations? Like, do we have to, or is it easier to get a job through us when the company is going to have to pay a 20% surplus? Or is it easier for you guys to go out and get those jobs by yourself? Which one? Like, if a company's going to pay me, all of us, I know all of you guys pretty much. Most of you guys are at least $100,000, maybe give or take, right? But let's just say $100,000. So they're going to pay me $20,000 to go and find them their next salesperson, their next director. When I present them, are they looking for somebody who could do the job or the absolute best candidate out there? The person who hits every single thing. Which one?
Probably the one that checks all the boxes because you're being paid to recruit that person.
100%, right? Doesn't mean that you guys, the candidate can't do the job. He doesn't have the perfect experience. Because when they're coming through the recruiter, like if I'm paying $20,000, you better best believe that person's gonna hit all of the boxes, right? And we are been conditioned literally conditioned to believe that it's going to be a job board or it's going to be an executive recruiter, and it's not true. It is not true. And that's where so many people get so frustrated because we're looking at the jobs and we're like, I don't even see a VP job. I don't see the director roles, or I see it and I apply and I'm not getting through. The chances are 2%. 2%. So why are we spending all of our time there? Why are we spending all of our time on the job boards being, I call them job board junkies, okay? Right? Looking for the same things that we're not going to find. This is where most people get so frustrated because you'll spend a year, 8 months, 9 months. I have people in my program that they were a year looking and went on 3 interviews, and then we start working together and they getting interviews the first 2 weeks because we're start looking at the right place. So using the real estate analogy, right? And knowing that the job boards are a joke and that we're spending our time in the places that we don't need to be. And where do you think the job boards are? Like, sorry, not the job boards. No job boards. Where do you think the jobs, where the money, where the moolah is at? The opportunities, where are they? Shout it out for me. I like to make things interactive. I don't like PowerPoint. I like conversation. So tell me, guys. Where are the
I'd
jobs?
say in your network,
In your network.
in your own network.
Ding, ding, ding. Where else?
There are always recruiters and headhunters.
Recruiters and headhunters, you should spend maybe 15 to 20% of your time when they reach out to you. My inbox, one day I'm going to open my inbox and show you guys. My inbox is inundated with people being like, can you help me find a role? And 90% of those people, I cannot help them. Period. End of story. Like, you have to find the specific recruiter that works in your industry that is finding your positions. And you have to be like the best out of the best when you're going through them. Not that you guys aren't, but I'm just letting you know, like, that's the expectations, because we get paid to find, like, if Pepsi hires me and says, Allison, please go find me an operations manager. I mean, yeah, a person who works at a hair salon or maybe who works at the Gap could do the same job. It's operations is operations. But when they're paying me and they're giving me $20,000 to go find that person, they don't want that person to come through me. They can find that person on their own. They're like, you go now, we're Pepsi, you go to Coca-Cola and you go get me their operations manager. They're not on a job board. You need to call them and steal them and bring them here. So recruiters, I am one. We're a big waste of time. I know you guys know this, and I don't take offense. If I was looking for a job, I'm not wasting time on a recruiter either. What can they do for me? Chances are I'm 10 to 20%. If they call me, so if a recruiter reaches out to you and they say, hey, I have a good position for you, run with it. Go with God. Take the opportunity, go after it. Otherwise, what are we doing here? Okay. So we talked about your network. Where else can you find people?
Your old job.
Ding, ding, ding. Your old jobs. I want you guys to write this down. Success leaves clues. So if you're working, like, I'm going to give you, this is a really good example. Before I was this extraordinary recruiter and coach, I was for many years in retail. Okay. I went to school for retail. I know people don't believe people do this, but I went to school to be a retailer. And probably about 8 years into my career, I was extremely burnt out. I looked around, I was almost 40, and I didn't see any person working in retail over 50 years old, literally. And I was like, okay, clearly you can't do this job when you're old. Right? Like, and I was a district manager. It wasn't like I was still at store level. Like, a district manager, I had 600 people reporting to me, but I just knew I cannot do this job for the next 20, 30 years. That is it. Okay. And when I was looking to figure out what was the next step for me, like I was almost 40 years old. I'm still almost only 40 years old now, even though time has changed. I have still stayed the same age during that period. Black don't crack.
Naturally.
Just gonna stay there at that same age. But what I did is I started to look at people who left the retail industry. What do they do next? What do they do? Like I knew I couldn't work in a restaurant because if retail's hard, work in a restaurant even harder. I'm gonna walk around with a tray, like you know what I mean? And I started to look at what are some of the next steps. So I'm going to encourage you that most of you guys, your leads are literally in front of you. And that there are people who are doing jobs that you want and you can see. Go and look at the people who you used to work with and see where they end up. I know when I worked for the Gap for many years. It was a great organization. I worked for them for almost 5 years. And to this day, one of the best jobs that I ever had. I know if you worked at the Gap, you are probably going to work at Apple. Those are very, very similar cultured jobs. The Gap is very big on you being you. We embrace diversity. Those are some of our, I'm even saying still ours. I haven't worked here for 20 years. It's engraved. It's literally like our motto, you be you. Bring the best of your people. Management. Apple has the same kind of culture. So you want to look at the people who you used to work with. So part of your homework is, when you're now going out to engage in your job search, I want you to look at people who you used to work with and see the companies that they have gone to. Because success leaves what?
Clues.
Clues. That's right. It leaves clues. It's literally right in front of you. Where else can we find great jobs? We talked about our network. We've talked about recruiters. Where else?
Our family.
Actually, before you guys start throwing this out, I'm going to just pose this to you. How many of you guys have worked next to somebody? You have somebody on your team, a supervisor, or somebody you worked with, and you look at this person and you think, how the hell am I working for this clown here? How the heck am I reporting to this bozo who knows nothing about nothing? Why is he coming or she coming to me and asking me questions and they are my boss? How the heck is this even possible that I report to this clown? How many people have been there? I'm putting my hand up. Right? We've all worked next to that person. Do you know how that person got that job? You're right. You're like,
They were great at interviewing, but they're horrible at their job.
Great at interviewing. What else? What are they good at inside the organization?
Kissing ass.
Do they play the same game as us?
Yes, exactly.
Kissing ass, exactly.
Pretending to be more productive than they actually are.
Exactly. Do they sit in indecisions and let other people walk over them?
No.
Do they brag about what they do at work?
Yes.
Constantly.
Are they humble?
No.
Not in.
You see where I'm going? I love seeing you guys' faces, by the way. It's so much better than doing PowerPoint because all your faces are so cute right now. And you're all like, yeah. All right. What's the difference between them and you guys? Do they just have a different playbook?
Perception.
Perception. I know I'm of West Indian descent. My dad is from Jamaica. My mom is from Dominica. And one of the things that my dad used to always say to me every time, and luckily he changed because I was very fortunate to have my dad work in my company and he literally got to see me work every single day. But my dad used to say this all the time. You're too big for your bridges. How many of you guys heard that kind of stuff when you were a kid?
Yeah.
right? Don't show off. Why are you bragging? Meanwhile, some idiot next to you who's getting paid more money than you, that's what they're doing. They're asking for the leads. They're asking their boss to introduce them. They're on the golf course. They're on the going for the meetings. They're asking for the referrals. And we are what? Second guessing ourselves. Guys, the secret hidden market is right in front of us. We just have to open our eyes and see that it's all around us. But we've just been conditioned to go to all of the traditional ways and they don't work. We see it on LinkedIn. How many posts do you guys see? Well, I applied for 300 roles and I've gotten nowhere. It's been a year. Girl, stop applying for the roles. Like, do you know what I mean? It's the same shit. You're going to the same shit, looking at the same place and wondering why there's nothing there. So, what do we do? You're like, I don't know, I'm here for you guys. You tell me else.
We change it.
Getting loud.
Yeah. Get a little bit more vocal. Here's the thing. As somebody who hires somebody for a living, literally I spent the last 15 years working with top companies, okay? Working with hiring managers, VPs, HR, you name it, I have worked with them. Trust and believe. When somebody sends you a good candidate and somebody who is talented, we are excited. It is never a bother. If you're recruitment gods, I pray to you every night to send me a director of HR for one of my client companies in Texas. We're happy to receive referrals. We're paid for referrals. Literally, if you give me a referral and that person gets a job, I'm going to run you a check real quick because you just saved my life. I am so appreciative of getting good talent given to me. It gets me off the job boards. It gets me off all of the things, right? So why are we not asking for referrals?
Hesitant, afraid of rejection.
Afraid of rejection. What else? Does it seem natural?
Not always, depending on the relationship that you've had with that people, the organization or the person you're reaching out to.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It can feel a little douchebaggy, if that's a word, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna ask this person, right? A little cringe sometimes. Trust me, it is not. Most companies, and I'm sure you guys have worked in organizations like this, they get paid for referrals. Like I know when I used to work at the Gap, if I got a store manager to come work at the Gap, I was a hero, literally a hero, and I got an incentive, right? If I wanted to, and I mean, most of us here, I mean, all of us here are ambitious people. Who wants to get promoted and make money? Put your hand up so I can see, right? So if you're bringing, right, I see it, I see it. So if you're bringing talent to your organization, are you a winner or a loser? Like, are they like, which one?
Winner.
Winner, right? So why are we hesitant?
Fear. Non-belief in yourself, I guess. I mean, that can be a hold up as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Comfort in your role too.
Yeah, we don't know what to say sometimes. It's intimidating, it's counterintuitive. Here's the thing. Closed mouths don't get fed. Period. End the story. That idiot
Yep.
that you report to that you want to stab, Okay, that person you're like, this clown, here he comes again. They're having PTSD. Every time I say it, I can see the person triggered me in my head. You know what I'm talking about, guys. We've all been there. That person asked for the referral. They are bragging at work. They're getting the promotions, and we're being humble and reporting to them. Who wants to be now somebody? Who wants to be the person who is promoted, who does get the job, who gets all the things? Put your hand up. Henny, do you not want the job? What's going on here? I see all you guys. Do you want it? Yes. Okay, all right. As I said, I try to make this as interactive and possible. This isn't just like a boring webinar, okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start looking at our career as real estate. So let's start with clearing out the attic first, okay? Attic, in your attic right now are your fears. The fear of being rejected, right? The fear of putting your hands up. Maybe a little PTSD of your Jamaican father telling you that you are too big for your bridges, or, you know, right? Or whatever it is. Not everyone is Jamaican here, but you get the point. Whatever version of it is from having parents of color we go through, right? Whatever it is. We're new to Canada. Don't ask for too much. You know, we hear it, right? I want you guys to write all of those fears down, and I want you to literally just take a moment, write them down, and then at the end, I'm going to tell you what to write over them. That's going to help you, give you movement. If you're just joining us, welcome. We are trying to be as interactive as possible. We've gone over where to find new positions. We have realized that they are not on job boards. Only 2% of people get jobs through job boards. And 80% of our executive role positions, the high paying jobs where you're going to make money, are made in your hidden market. And now we're using an analogy of thinking of ourselves as being real estate agents to level up our careers. So when we hit the market, we're going to make that money, honey. We're going to we're going to make some loot, and it's going to be easier, and we're not going to spend wasted time on job boards and busy work that gets us nowhere besides frustrated and reporting to idiots. I hope I've summed that up real quick. And right now we are writing our fears out, and then I'm going to tell you guys what to do with those fears. When you're done, put your hand up. I will be sipping my non-Tim Hortons coffee and thinking about you guys in Canada, who I'm jealous of. Ryan, go ahead. Have you finished writing it out?
Yeah, all done.
Yeah. Why don't I hear you?
I don't know. You hear me
Oh,
now?
there you go. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to tell you?
Oh, I thought you were saying that you were going to share. That's why I'm like, go ahead.
No, I thought you just put your hand up when you're done. I'm like, oh no, we're not doing that now.
Oh. I like to put people on the spot.
It's fine. Well, okay, fine. I'll kick off a little bit. Fine. I'll give you some.
Okay.
I mean, I'm in sales. I'm not a shy person, but I feel like in certain instances, especially when you're doing, say, an interview process for a position, I always find that like I tend to be a little bit more humble, maybe a little bit more reserved. I'm not my over the top personality that you get from me on a regular basis, or if you know me personally, then you know that I'm not a quiet person. But I tend to kind of always like play it soft, don't overdo it, don't come across too harsh. And I feel like that's not always the best case scenario depending on the role you're going for, because they want someone maybe that's loud and outspoken and takes charge. And, I've been thinking through these things as I go through, an interview here or there, or even my last job, when I got the interview, I was more of myself, maybe a little bit more. Once I get comfortable, I'm open. But I think that needs to be something that I need to bring to the table right off the hop. In writing these down, I kind of look at it going, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Once you actually physically write it and go, is that how I present? Maybe it is, and maybe that's something I need to change.
Mhm. Well, I mean, as somebody that knows you, when you are not your authentic self is everything you need to be to get the job. The way that you present yourself, like when you and I have had our conversations and you've talked to me about where you are at work or success that you've had, and you don't hold yourself back, that is when you shine like a superstar. Literally, your aura changes. You step into your leadership, and there's been times where you and I are having conversations about, resumes or whatever.
Mhm.
And when you
Right.
are explaining what you've done, it's like gold. This guy gets the job. So so your fear, you talked about what you were doing before was holding yourself back and not bragging because it feels awkward. Here's the thing,
Yeah.
interviews are probably the only time in life that you are supposed to brag about yourself. Nobody sits at their desk all day thinking about how great they are. In an interview, you do. You have to.
Right.
This is your
Yeah.
time to brag. It is completely counterintuitive. I get it. So
Mhm.
that fear that you wrote down, what I want you to write over that fear is that is complete bullshit. Write it out.
Okay.
Bullshit. Okay. Then I want
Got
you
it.
to take that sheet of paper, rip it, and I want you to throw it away. Because it's bullshit. I want you to guys think about the most powerful people in the world. Are they the smartest people?
Hell no.
Who's running things?
It
Are
is.
they the smartest people? Or
No, the smart people in
no?
the background.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In
I
most
will not
cases,
go on a
except
political rant today.
Yes. No, we're not doing.
Yeah. But you get what I'm putting down. Okay? Who else wants to go for it with a fear? I'm just gonna stare at you guys until somebody comes forward. So okay, go ahead.
Oh man. Okay, so I was just throwing things out there. So I put asking, embarrassed to even ask. I guess pride. The whole re-entry pivoting into a space from independent broker to going into corporate. What would that even look like?
Mm-hmm.
What would the title be? So that was the rabbit hole that I just went down. I was like, oh, see.
They're good rabbit holes, girl. I get it. I
Okay.
get it.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to pivot, right? Those changes can be difficult, right? Like they can seem difficult. Do you have the skill sets to go into the next role that you want? Like, can you do it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right? Have
Yes.
you been successful in almost everything you've done before?
Oh, yes.
Yes. What? Yes. Right?
Oh, I need to put some bass in that? Yes? Is that what
Yeah,
it
I
is?
need some base, right? Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Absolutely. Anything I put my mind to, it's done.
Exactly. Okay.
Yes.
So what you wrote here, what you wrote down, what was that?
Bullshit.
Bullshit, exactly. Write it on your page, rip the page up, throw it out. It's complete bullshit. You
Oh, I
can
love
go
it.
into any other positions. I was a retailer for
Yes.
years, literally years. If you asked me 20 years ago, I would have told you my goal was to be like the VP of the Gap or Old Navy. It just didn't work out for me like that, right? Was I able to switch and become more successful than I was previously? 100%. Of course we can. You can be whatever you put your mind to it. So yes, all of the things that you want, girl, you got it. All of that stuff in the past, complete what? Bullshit. Bullshit, right, guys?
That's right.
Rip it up, throw it away. Fatima, what did you write down, my dear?
So I write everything down mentally. But I
Cool.
wrote so I have a lot of for context, I have a lot of foot and mouth situations. So I'm always perceived, not always, but a lot of times I've been perceived in ways that I'm a person to be that I'm not. And sometimes there are times it's sort of also a fear of rejection, but also a constant reminder that like a fear of being small. Those were my three that I wrote mentally.
Okay. Um, is that true?
No.
No. When you practice and spend time working on getting the things to come out of your mouth clearly and you practice and you take time and concentrate on that, are these things that you're able to change about yourself?
Yes.
Right? Do you like being small?
No.
No. So what would you say all of that stuff that's on there is for clearing out the attic?
Nonsense.
Exactly. Complete bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even
Mm-hmm.
true,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I know you made a mental note, but you can do this in your head too. I want you to rip that sheet up because it doesn't make sense. It's not true. And we're gonna rewrite something else. Anyone else want to
Sure.
share? Good job though. You're already doing the work. You were already doing the work, and I see it every day. I see it. I really do.
Thank you.
And it's happening for you, my friend.
I wrote down that I just had judgment, fear of past interactions, especially when dealing with former coworkers. You think, remember that one time we're at the cooler and she said that she didn't like my outfit or something, like something, I don't know. And you think like,
Yeah.
why would I ask her for I don't know. And you kind of think like, I don't know, for me, I think, how is this going to be perceived? Like how do I look if I'm coming to you after I haven't spoken to you in 12 years? That now I'm
Mhm.
like, hey, heard your company's hiring. I'll still do it, right? But that's what goes on in my head. I think I'm always thinking, I hope I hear back from them. I'm hoping that this is, regardless, I'm still gonna do it, but I'm hoping that I hear back. And most times I do, but I totally get that fear of like, oh my God, you know, I haven't, at that Christmas party or the holiday party forever ago. And then you think like, but then like I say, I'll still do it. But that goes through my mind. It's the same when I hear from people who like, man, it's like I haven't heard from this person in so long and they
Mhm.
remembered me. Cool. That's awesome. Two, there was something about me that they stuck with them. They feel comfortable enough to talk to me. So when I'm in that position, I've always been like, oh, all right, I don't care. I'll help you.
Mhm.
It's gonna make me
Yeah.
look good. If you weren't a jerk, if you weren't that coworker that everyone couldn't stand, then that's one thing. But when I'm the person that's reaching out, sometimes I think like, ugh, how is this going to be perceived? But like I say, I'll still do it because you have
Oh,
to. You just got
So
it.
knowing that you would do it if somebody else, like if you worked with somebody 10 years ago and they see that you're working at ABC company, they want it in, you like them, you would do it, right? So you know
Oh
that.
yeah.
Who
Yeah.
helped somebody of their former coworkers that they got along with if they reached out to them if they could? Yes or no? Who would? Put your hand up.
Yes.
Most of us, right? Of course, of course. Let me tell you guys something as being a recruiter, the amount of people who I didn't even like who's reached out to me. I'm talking ex-boyfriends who I dated 15 years ago that dumped me, feels no ways. Hey, I see
I
you're a
wouldn't help
recruiter.
him. Screw him.
What? Yeah, no, but I still have because it's still at the end of the day, if you're good at the job and it's gonna help me, like I've done it, right? Guys who've ghosted me, yeah, 20 years later, hey, I see you're a recruiter. I'm trying to get in here. Do I still help them? I do. Most people, Sarah's like, no, you don't. I will, depending. But most of the times, yeah, of course. If I used to work with you at the Gap and you were my manager or I was your manager years ago and you want me to open a door or I can open a door for you, why wouldn't I? Most people are good. Can we agree that I mean, I know we see a lot of shit on the news and stuff, but most people are good. And if you worked with them before and you know that they have a good work ethic, they will. And I promise you, the people who are the idiot that got the jobs, they got them because one of their idiot friends who used to work with them years ago opened the door for them. That's how they actually got in. It's because they're using their network because their mind isn't even smart enough to get through the door. And we're holding ourselves back. So what is it, guys? It's complete
BS.
Bullshit.
bullshit. It's complete bullshit. Just reach out to the money. The worst they can say is no anyway. Just they say no. All right, good. When I get my job, homie, I'm petty. I'll say it right now. I know I did a lot of personal development work and live in Costa Rica and all of the things, but I'm still petty. So if I reached out to you and you didn't help me out, all right, good. Now watch me go get the best job. And when you ask me, you're gonna get the Casper. You're gonna get the Ghost too. You know what I mean? Use it as empowerment. But we're always gonna come from a place as we help other people and other people help us. Right? So complete bullshit, and we're not doing it anymore.
Right.
All right, so we got into the attic. We've cleared out the attic, right? And we're now ready to put our house up for sale. What are we going to do next when it comes to looking at our house? House is ready. We cleared it out. We got it. Now we haven't even got into our staging. We got to stage our house, right? So what's our staging when it comes to careers? Our resume, important tool, right? We need that. What else do we need to have looking good? Because where do people go after they look at their resume or even before they look at their resume?
LinkedIn
Social
profile.
media.
LinkedIn
Yeah,
profile.
everyone said it.
Mhm.
Everyone's got it. LinkedIn, of course, that's where, besides two of you guys, everyone here has met me via LinkedIn,
But it's not even just
right?
LinkedIn. It's just social. Like I've gone on Facebook. Like I've looked people up, the hiring manager. I'll go on their Facebook to see like, oh, they took a ski trip last year with their kids. So like in an interview, I can maybe mention, hey, I'm a parent or something that has a
Mhm.
connection with that person. So like I can leave on Fridays at 3 because I got to take my kid to the whatever, like you look for those kind of. I used to only stick to LinkedIn, but now I'm like, I need to know if you're putting it out there, the more information you have, you're going to check their socials.
100%. Socials, LinkedIn, Instagram is really great. Instagram's great for finding small businesses too, owners. They don't get inundated. LinkedIn is obviously the biggest one, but do not limit yourself to other social networks. Thank you so much for that, Sarah. Yeah. So we need to get those marketing tools set up for success as well, right? Because now we're trying to get the most value out of our property ourselves, right? So you have to have a resume that looks great. Okay. We have to have a LinkedIn presence. And LinkedIn is where recruiters spend 70% of our time on LinkedIn itself. 70% of our time. I will a lot of you guys, I will not remember your name, but I can literally see your LinkedIn profile in my face, in my mind, because that's how much I spend on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is our baby. 70%. I probably am even underestimating. When I'm at home and people are scrolling on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn. Like, we are obsessed with this. Okay. So you want to be on LinkedIn and you want to have clarity as to what you are looking for. Because I will tell you, if your plan is to just spam and contact a whole bunch of recruiters and you don't know what you're looking for, good luck with that. I'm not even getting back to people anymore about it. It's so annoying. Hi, can you help me get a job? What job? Where? What are you doing? Like, now I got to think about what you want to do for your career? No, son. It's not what I get paid for. My job is to help companies find people. That's how we think. That's how recruiters think. Literally. So you want to, your marketing tools are up and going. They need to make sense. They need to be aligned with not just what you've done in the past. They need to be aligned with what you want to do in the future. Because every recruiter that I know, including myself, including people who I have worked with in my own company, okay, my dad, I had my sister work, like any person who I have ever worked with that is in recruitment, we all have ADHD. Every single one. I will die on this hill. All of us. We pick these jobs because we scan things for a living. We are not going to read your resume top to bottom. I've never read a resume top to bottom. Look, even today, look how I am. This is how we are. We have ADHD. You see, I'm not reading from a PowerPoint because I can't concentrate to read from a PowerPoint. This is how our minds work. We're insane people. It needs to jump out at us. Period. End of story. We need to see your resume and go, oh, they're an executive assistant. Cool. This guy's in sales. I'm looking at a sheet here if you're wondering what I'm doing. They're in sales. They were a top salesperson. Cool. Boom. We're not reading any of that stuff. Don't send me a 2-page resume. No, never. Don't send me a picture on your resume. Don't tell me what all you just did in the past so that I have to try to figure out what you want to do in the future. I don't got time for that. I got ADHD. I need to read it and get it in 5 seconds or else I'm moving on. I have 400 resumes in my inbox. And I have clients barking down my throat. Make sense, guys? It's got to be clear and not just what you want, what you've done in the past, what you want to do in the future. Has to make sense because we have to be able to envision you in that role. And people are dumb. It's got to jump out at us. And we are scanning. We are professional scanners. So, and your resume, write this down, guys. It needs to be focused on your successes and your achievements. Don't describe the job. I don't know why we don't teach this stuff in school. But when I get a resume and the person is just describing what they did, or they've just taken the job description and posted in there, I'm like, do they not know that we know that? If you're in sales, sorry, Ryan, I'm not picking on you. It's just jumping. Sarah's in sales too. But if you're in sales, all salespeople do the same thing, right? Like I'm in sales too. We have a product, we take it to the market, we try to sell, we try to make a profit. What did you do that's different? How did that make the company make more money? Who do you work with? Because if you work in automotive, right? And I want to know if I'm a fueling company that your clients are conducive to the business that I work in, right? Has to be clear. If you are transitioning into another role, you need to make sure that they get that. So you're going to talk about the skill sets that you've done, the ones that you've worked on that will make you a good fit for the role. Those are key stuff. That is how you position yourself. You're not just going to put your house up for sale. without looking at what everyone else is doing. Okay. The other thing that you are going to focus on when you are marketing yourself is to make sure that your salary is aligned with what the market, what your value is. Sorry, not the market, what your value is. So, all right, I love using this analogy, especially when I have Canadians here, because I'm always with Americans and nobody ever gets this. But if you go to Winners, okay, and you see a sweater for like $79.99, and I'm at Winners and I look at the sweater, I'm like, $79.99 for a sweater? Are they crazy? Hell no. And I put it back. I can go to Holt Renfrew and see a sweater for $79.99. And I'm like, oh my God, it's only $79.99 for this sweater. Can you believe this deal? Right? The girls are getting it. The guys are like, I don't get it. Like, I can see in your face.
I love
But
shopping, so I know what you're talking about.
okay, you get it, right? Are you picking up what I'm putting down, Hanif? You get it? It has to make sense. So what we do, especially when we're watching the news and we're hearing all of these layoffs and all of this stuff, is we naturally start discounting our value, right? Because we're like, market's tough. I don't know if I'm gonna get $150,000. I don't know if I'm gonna get, and you start lowering, and then it doesn't make sense because it has to match. Again, all recruiters, if you have this kind of job, you think like me. And we think if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't work, and we move on. So while you are preparing to put yourself up for the market and you have cleared out your attic and you're positioning yourself, you want to make sure that your salary is aligned with the value of what you do, not the market. Right? Do you have a question for Frederica?
No, I'm sorry. I need to go. I have another meeting, but this was fantastic. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Alison, and thank you to everyone who's here.
thank you so
Thanks.
much for joining us.
Okay,
We'll be in
bye.
touch, okay?
Sure.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Sorry, I'm very long-winded, so I need to start saying that our calls are longer because they're not an hour. We're already at the hour mark and we got 2 more things to go. Can everyone have a little bit of time so I can kind of get into this? I promise I'll give you lots of value. Okay. Frederica, I'll send you the replay as well so you won't miss anything, okay? Okay. So it has to match the value, right? Based on what we do, people of color, we do this all the time. We're like, the market, we don't have that many jobs going on. I was making 150 before. My friend got 127. I'm just gonna ask for 130. And then you're like, why am I not getting the wrong? Doesn't make sense. You're the sweater at Winners for $79.99. You're just in the wrong place. You're in the wrong store. So this is where I encourage you to make sure you are looking at your comps. So look at what the market is, look at what other people are, where your salary is, and base it on what you're doing, not your previous job. Like how you paid $600,000 for your house, you're not going to just add 10% and put it on the market. Don't do the same with your career. One of my clients that's in my program, they were getting paid $100,000 base. They were like, I'm going to take 110. They ended up getting a 150 base because they had been in the same role for so long that they didn't realize that other people were getting paid significantly more than they were, and they were leaving money on the table. So you have to get this part dealt with, or you will be that's sweater in Winners. It just doesn't make sense, or vice versa. Because if you put up a house, if I put up a house at $600,000 in Toronto, what do you think is up with that house?
The problems.
Exactly. I'm like, there's ghosts in there. It's haunted. It's a money trap. Like you start thinking, you start creating those stories, right? So when you're putting your house up for sale, make sure that your salary range, and most of the times, 90%, actually, I'm going to say 100% for all of you guys here, is that you probably need to go up in salary versus lower. This is the time where you really want to raise your standards. Raise them, because they don't happen at the workplace. When you get into the workplace, you're getting a 3%, 5% raise. So while you are looking, this is where you're going to make. The reason why I've always been paid well for every job that I have ever done is because I've understood this, and I don't work for cheap, ever. Ever. I have every position that I've gone into, I've gotten paid more because I understand my value, not because I'm the best, although I am, but not because I am the best, just because I understand my value. Make sense? Questions? Okay, so now we're up on the market, right? How do we get buyers? That's the interview process. Where are we going now? Are we going to the job boards? If you say yes,
gotta
I'm going to
advertise.
yell at you.
No, we've got to advertise. We've got to go through a network. We've got to look for people that we know. Maybe because
Right?
they're granting interest. Check with people. Anybody looking? Anybody looking? Anybody looking?
Yep. Yep. We're going to our networks, 100%. You want to start engaging, you know, people that you worked with in the past, making a dream list of clients or companies that you want to work with and start engaging them. You want to look in the news and see who's expanding new projects, right? Like if you see that they're expanding, they're probably going to need to hire. You start seeing that they're hiring other people on LinkedIn, they're in a hiring stage, look at them, right? And when you are reaching out to people, you want to go a step higher than you, always. Okay. That's where you want to start. I always tell people to start with the highest person, because if you contact the CEO and the CEO gives you time, and then the CEO refers you to HR or whoever, the hiring manager, they're going to hire you because the CEO told them to, period. It's just smart, right? It's just thinking smart. It's also
True.
nobody hits up those people, right? Like you're going to hit up the person next to you. You want to go higher, right? That's the positioning. All right, so we have an interview now. How are we handling our interviews? Are we humble?
No.
No
Bragging, but
humble?
not too heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to have your, you guys can write this down, your career stories. So before you go for an interview, you want to think about everything that you've done to help a company make more money, grow, right? You want to think about, if you're in sales, I want to see KPIs on your resume all over, because sales is numbers. If you're in HR, I want to hear you talking about creating cultures, how you were able to affect your team, how you're able to make them grow. If you're in engineering, I want to hear about the processes that you've done, how you save time, right? You want to make it easy so that the person who reads it, what do all recruiters have? What do they have? ADHD, right? They're skimmers, that they get it. Those are things that are important, right? They're going to get that if it makes sense. It's right there for them. That's the interviewing piece. What comes after a successful interview, guys?
An offer.
The offer! Exactly. You got selected. You got the job. That's my favorite part. You get an offer, right? Now it's got some money on it. We always accept the first offer that's given to us, right? Of course.
Oh,
Trick question.
yeah.
First one that they give us, we just take it right on the spot, right? No negotiating. Just take it, settle, get it,
Don't do it.
right? No, we don't. Even if it's more than what you're asking. Even if it's more than what you were thinking, you never accept the first one. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Got it? There's always room for negotiating. If they don't want to negotiate with you, run. You know why? I will tell you, I'm working with hundreds of companies. When they are so inflexible in the beginning, it will get worse when you're in. Every time. And when you settle for less, you yourself will always be pissed at yourself for not getting more. There's nothing worse than starting a job and you take the first thing that was offered and then you find out a couple of weeks later that the person next to you is getting paid $10,000, $15,000 a year more just simply because they asked. And I only know this because I've seen this happen many times. When I worked for
I've
my
done this.
previous, yep, you've been there. When I worked for my previous company, I remember sitting next to a person who had way more experience than us. We're talking about base salaries. Her base was $15,000 a year less than I did, and she had 10 years more experience than me. And she was a way better recruiter at the time. Now I have leaps and bounds ahead of her. But at the time, she was a way better recruiter than I am. Literally, she ran circles around me. I learned how to be a good recruiter by watching her. Because success leaves clues. I literally would write everything that she did and emulate it. And I was getting paid more money than her. So you don't accept the first one. If you take anything from me, know that. Always room. Always room for negotiation. They send you the lower ones. Then when you get an offer, what do? After you get an offer and it's good, you've negotiated it.
Signed and sealed and delivered.
That's right. Right? You celebrate.
Oh yeah.
Are you still open for positions while you have that offer in your hand?
Absolutely. Sure, why not?
100%. Until the day you start, you are still open. Until the day you start. Because we're using the real estate analogy, your career is up for lease. It is not up for sale. Lease is different. When your career is up for a lease, you go to the best buyer and it works until it doesn't work and then you move to the next one. When you sell yourself to a company, you've sold yourself to that company and they will pull you for whatever you have. I want you to switch that mentality. You are on lease. And you do not until you start that job, you were still available because I can write a book. I can literally write a book about how many times I have seen somebody accept a position in a job, think they're going to start in 2 weeks. The Friday before the Monday they start, the company's called and said, "Hey, I'm so sorry, but we had numbers come back and we can't actually bring you on and you don't even start that job." And then what the hell do? You quit your job and you're waiting to start a new one? Happens all the time. You see it on LinkedIn. I can write stories. I literally can write a book about it. I've seen it happen to friends, clients. I've seen it happen a million times. So you never stop. You are always open, always, for the rest of your life. Even if you are happy as a peach, working in this employer, you're their best employee, they love you, you love them, you still take the call from the recruiter. You still reach out, you still continue networking because the worst time to be looking for a job is when you don't have one. Period. I don't know. We can talk about why. I know why, but it's the truth. You are always open. Got it, guys?
Got it.
So what are your biggest takeaways? We have a few minutes here. Please shout out your biggest takeaways for me so I know that this has resonated.
Don't be
Um,
so humble.
Don't be so humble. Exactly.
Alison, I have a question. So when
Yes.
you're working with a company for, let's say, 10 plus years, and you want a change in your career, but there's always a fear because now you are comfortable with your team and the products and the market and customers and everything else. Now
Mhm.
you are pursuing a new goal, new career, and completely going in different world, different people, different office politics. How do you basically uh, eliminate that fear and move on?
The first thing I'm going to say is that courage is a muscle. So you have to take a little bit of tiny steps to get there. A lot of times people feel like there's a lot of job security when we're working. I'm a firm believer in that job security is just bullshit too. Like companies can just lay you off like this. We see this happen all the time, right? And everything that you want in your career is always outside of your comfort zone, right? So you're comfortable here, and that comfortability has kept you there. In order to get to the other side, you got to take a leap forward, right? If you, I always tell people, if you're happy within the organization and you just want a lateral move, ask them first. Go and ask them. Go ask for the promotion. Go speak to your supervisor and have that conversation. You know, I've been here for 10 years. Here are some of my successes. I want to grow within the organization. What would that look like? Then you'll get your answer. Because if they're like, sorry, we don't got no room for you, then you know, no harm, no foul, right? You don't want to wait until you get an offer and then they come around and say, oh, you know what? Now we can offer you the director role. Then it's too late, right? It's like,
Sure.
so you have to, you got to make a decision. You want to be comfortable. And usually when people are comfortable, they're not being challenged, right? You're a little bored. It's very safe. You know what you're doing. Gets, well, all right, we've been doing this for a while. And I know, you know, after a while, it just kind of gets boring. So you can decide, all right, I'm going to stay here and stay safe. Maybe they keep me or not, or I'm going to push myself. The good thing is that if you are gainfully employed, you still work hard in your job and now you focus on this, and then you're in a good situation, right? You have the conversation with your supervisor. Can I move up? If you can, great. If you can't, 90-day plan, my friend, and you move on. You can always go back. Like trust and believe. If I called the Gap right now, not that I'm going to because I'm very happy in my own business, but if I called them, they would take me back. They would 100% take me back. They've told me that. You can, if you've done a good job, 9 times out of 10, you can go back. Where's the lie? But you don't know until you try. And you're probably, most people who have been in positions for 10 plus years are sitting on a shitload of money. Like a shit. Like that's like my client, $50,000. 50,000, right? So you got to weigh them out. Do I stay here, do the same thing that I've been doing, bored, don't feel challenged, or do I go outside my comfort zone and push myself? What's the reward? I'm going to get paid more money. I'm going to be doing something that excites me again. Or I'm going to be here doing the same thing, bored. And then you make a plan and you go with God.
Yeah, makes sense.
But it's easier when you have a plan. Without a plan, then it's just looking in, it's passive and the plan.
Mm.
I hope that answers your question. Any other questions, guys?
Not right now.
So we have our plan. We had our mindset shifts. What other, actually I didn't even ask, what other shifts have we had? Real quick, if you can just shout those out for me so I know that this is hitting home.
No job boards.
Yes.
My girl. No job boards. Job boards 10, 15, 10% of your time. That's it. If you see it and you can apply, great. Stay off the job boards. For sure. Network, 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 and then network more. Ask, and then ask more. Okay. Any other breakthroughs?
I like that our fears are bullshit.
That's right.
Because
They
it's
are.
really good in our head. That's the narrative so we're not subscribing to that. Just push forward.
100%.
I love it.
100%. Because I don't know, I think sometimes working with as many senior leaders as I have, like VPs, owners of companies, people who have $1 million companies, one thing that I will tell you guys, everyone's an idiot. Like nobody, like you meet these people and you think, oh my God, this person is, we've worked with like the Teslas of the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, wow, this person is so smart. They're an engineer. And then you go and sit with them and you're like, really? You? Like, it's just like not that impressive. We're all human beings. Like, no one's better. We're all God's children. No one's better than anyone else. Once you really realize that, I'm telling you, the fear goes away. Because I can't tell you how many times I sat with people and it's like, guys, 2 + 2 is 4. It's not like, it's not that complicated. Like, why is this idiot doesn't get it? Trust and believe. Okay. What else? One more and then we'll wrap up. Other takeaways.
I love the real estate, that we are our real estate. I love that.
Yes. Yeah.
About the leasing versus sale, purchase. You said the job is for lease.
For lease.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
for lease.
Look
Or
at it
for
like
lease.
that. Because
Yeah.
it's not
I like that.
your forever job. So it's not your forever
Exactly.
home. So I love
Yeah.
that. I love it.
Yeah, long are the days. Like my mom worked in Canada. I mean, my mom is passed now. My mom was a career woman, true and true. She loved her job. Like my mom was a social worker. She loved her position so much. I remember being a kid watching my mom go to work and being like, I want that feeling, because she loved it so much. Okay.
Mhm.
She had 2 jobs in Canada. One for 20 years, the other one for 20 years. I will say she's a little bit different because even though she's gone now, her picture is still on the wall of where she worked. So, and that was up like for years after she left. So she was phenomenal. But most people do not have the same job for 2 jobs for 20 years. Those days are gone. Like if you do 5 years now, it's like, wow, 5 years, 3 years. If you're not getting where you want to get to, you bounce, right? So that old mentality that our parents had, that boomer mentality of like, you come in, you put your head down and you do the job, that doesn't work anymore. Not in Canada and not for people of color. I'm sorry. Certainly, that's sorry,
You're
Ryan. I know
gorgeous.
we're a mixed
Hey,
company,
listen, I'm the
but
only white
Ryan
guy
gets
here.
it. Okay, he gets it. He has a mixed child.
Okay.
He's one of us. Okay, like,
He knows how
he
hard
gets
it is.
it. Yeah, but like it doesn't work, right?
Okay.
And it's because we are using our parents' mentality and
Yeah.
using it in 2025, and it doesn't work. The future of work, we're going to all have multiple employers and we'll be working for a bunch of them at the same time. That's what the future is. So these are skill sets that we have to learn now. And if we're gonna,
Yeah.
I mean, I got a good 20 more years. Oh my God, less than 20 years of working. But I'm still
Yeah,
under
'cause I-
40, so I haven't changed.
I used to feel guilty wanting to do something else, like wanting to switch. It's like, how dare you? You know,
Mhm.
that mentality, because it was already I was conditioned to think that.
Yeah.
So
We were
Yeah.
brought up in that generation where it's you work and you get a
Absolutely.
pension for that job and you work until
Yes.
you're dead and that's it.
yes,
Right?
Mhm.
That's what our parents
That
did,
part.
and that's not the case anymore.
Yeah,
Allison told me
that
that
part.
years ago. She's like, "Why have you been working at the same place for 8 years?" And I'm like, "Because I love what I do." And she's like, "You could be making so much more." And I was like, yeah, but I like my job. She goes,
Uh-huh.
yeah, but are you paid well for it? I'm like, not as much as I could be. And that was the mindset. That was that.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay, I guess I'm that good. I could go get more.
Yeah.
Still do something that I
Mhm.
love, but doesn't mean I can't get paid for it.
Yes.
So
Exactly. And your biggest jump that you're going to get in your salary is when you switch jobs. It's not from working internally,
1000%.
right?
absolutely.
Mhm.
I've seen the biggest jumps is because I just haven't stayed loyal. Like, because it's like there's not loyal or stay stuck really. Because for years,
Exactly.
it's like, okay, well, I've been working here, they see it. I've gone one job, I $40,000 increase, 55,000 increase from when my last job to the one that I just got laid off of. $55,000 in 1 year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's because I
Crazy,
was
right?
wait for it. Like, where else would when else will you get that kind of significant salary increase?
Sometimes that's a salary for some people, right? Like that's crazy.
Oh, I know. That
Yeah.
used to be my
Yeah.
salary, 55,000 annually was
Yeah.
my salary less than like 10-ish years ago. I was making around
hear you.
that. And now 55,000 increase to my base because I switched employers. Out of the last 10 years, I had 4 different employers and worked like 2.5 years at each company and just jumped
Yeah.
and jumped and was able to do it. I
But
just
the
know
value
That is the
continues
key.
to exponentially grow,
Yeah.
right? Because your
It would
value and your
grow.
worth goes up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when I see people who have the same jobs for 5-10 years and like a company's trying to get me to recruit them, what I will tell the companies is be a little bit cautious. Why have they been there for 10-15 years in the same position? Why?
Yeah.
And they're always like, I never thought about it like that. I'm like, why have they have not been promoted? Don't you want somebody who's going to want to come into your organization and grow with them? So this person's had a track record of being stagnant for 10 years. Plus, this is again, remember I told you about recruiters. We work with you and
ADHD.
we work against you. There is a thing called inducement, which means if you leave a company, so if a recruiter recruits you, right? So say you're working at ABC company and I'm working for DEF, and I'm trying to get you to come over there, and you've worked with that company for 20 years. Me as a recruiter induced you to come work there. If you leave, if you quit or they fire you after 90 days, they have to pay your severance based on the time you were at ABC company. So now you're inheriting 2 weeks. What is it? 1 year, 2 weeks for every year that you worked at the company. So now if they fire you, they owe you almost over a year salary. So there's a lot of things we're being conditioned to believe, like stay forever and it works for you. It doesn't always, my friends.
Yeah.
It doesn't always. That's why I created my program. So I've taken a lot of your time. Okay.
Learned a lot today, Allie.
Yes.
I hope you learned a lot. If you have still questions, please schedule a career strategy call with me. I know I can help you guys get to the next level.
Okay.
Luckily, a lot of you have worked with me in the past. But I would encourage you to let's have a heart to heart and figure out what's the next step from a strategic standpoint. But I feel like this is a good information to kind of hit the ground running and make some significant changes.
Yes.
Sounds good, guys?
Absolutely. It was amazing.
Sounds
Thank
All
great.
you.
right, send me your feedback
Yeah.
and go out and crush it. And remember, it's all bullshit. All of it. Bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit every single time.
I
All
love
right,
it.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.